it's Mindy and welcome to Meatless Monday, but every day. What we're going to be making today is a tempeh Philly cheesesteak. If you guys aren't familiar with tempeh, here's its package. It's pretty much just soybeans that have been fermented, and they come in kind of a block, like a little low brick shape. So soybeans really are good for absorbing flavor, so they're great for to marinate them, and then they'll really pick up any flavor that you choose to use for your marinade, which is what we're doing today. So what I've done so far is cut up the tempeh into about, let's say, 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch size strips, and the marinade it's sitting in is made from 1/2 cup of teriyaki sauce. I just used a pre-made one. It was easier for me and I happen to have it. I used a tablespoon of balsamic vinegar and a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce in there. Everything is mixed up. And what you're going to want to do is let your tempeh sit and marinate for a 1/2 hour to 45 minutes. The rest of the ingredients you'll need are an onion. I think I just got a simple yellow onion. You could definitely use Vidalia or sweet onion as well. I've got a green pepper and a red pepper. You could also add in mushrooms, would be a really good thing to put into here. And then you're going to need hoagie buns and cheese or a cheese substitute of your choice. You're going to need mayo. We use the Hellmann's vegan dressing. It's really good, and quite honestly, nobody here knew it was not real mayo until they saw the canister. You're also going to need garlic, and that's to your discretion. I'll use about a tablespoon. You'll need like a seasoned salt, or maybe like an Old Bay seasoning, some sort of seasoning mix, and olive oil. Maybe I said that, maybe I didn't. I don't remember. It's okay. So, just mixing the tempeh, flipping it over. A lot of times I put the little marinades in a bag, and I didn't this time, and I don't know why. It's just easier to squish it around usually. But what we're going to do while this is finishing marinating is we're going to cut up our bell peppers and then the onion. So, take that off. We'll wipe these veggies down. And you'll need a frying pan, and actually you need to preheat your oven until about 350. So we're going to end up putting these sandwiches in the oven twice. Once to start toasting the bread, and then the second time will be to melt the cheese and get everything ready that way. So what you want to do then with your peppers and your onion are slice them into about 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch thick slices. You kind of want to have them the same as the tempeh. This recipe is kind of a trial and error, if you will, so I'm trying this one for the first time with the tempeh, so hopefully it's good. Don't see why it wouldn't be. In theory, everything that's here should taste good together. So, cut up all of the vegetables while the rest, like I said, while this is marinating. Well, I do say this is a vegetarian recipe the way I'm making it, because I'm going to be using real cheese. You could definitely make it vegan if you wanted to. Daya brand has really good cheese alternatives. I found that they have it at Festival, Target, and then actually Walmart will have that brand as well. And Aldi sometimes will have their own version of vegan cheese. Our Aldi doesn't always have it. Maybe yours does, but either way. So the peppers are cooked. Oh, it's been a long day. The peppers are cut up. The tempeh is still marinating. I'm gonna flip these pieces over, and you can really see the color change once the tempeh is getting nice and marinated. It actually starts out kind of white, even lighter than this. So some of these pieces are getting to be a really nice caramely color. So that's great. That means they're really going to be soaking in that flavor. One thing I'm also going to do is, instead of dumping this marinade, when the veggies are cooking, I'll end up dumping that in too, so make sure you save that. All right, so up to cutting up the onion. So again, slices of the onion, so everything, all of the pieces will be pretty uniform. Oh, I forgot to try that trick where you put the onion in the freezer before you cut it up, so hopefully this one's not too bad. Ooh, it's pretty bad. So, I think I'm only going to use about half of this onion. The onion were a little bit smaller, I used the whole thing, but we'll use half, put half away for later. You always use it up within a day or two anyways. Alright, so that is, sorry about that, it's contained at least now. We'll slice this up. So when you slice the onion in half, it makes nice little uniform sizes anyway. So this will cut up very nicely. Since the tempeh is pre-cooked, you just need to marinate it and then heat it back up again. You don't need to worry about getting it to certain temperatures or anything like that, which is nice. It's one of the pluses of not using a real meat. You don't have to worry about getting things to certain temperatures, worrying about getting sick, all of those things. All right, it is a strong onion. All right, so I've got all of the veggies are all cut up and in the bowl waiting. The tempeh is still marinating. It's looking really good, like I said. So what I'm going to do next is get out the pan and just start heating that up. So I've got the pan on the stove here. Come on, there we go. You're gonna heat up olive oil over a medium heat. Probably putting about, call it a tablespoon of olive oil in. And I'm actually going to put garlic right in the pan to heat up as well. Put about half a tablespoon in now. It's probably more like a full tablespoon, and then I'll put more in when the peppers and onions start to cook. So while this is all cooking, you can get your cheese ready, you can slice your hoagie buns, you can do whatever you need to do to get it prepped. This whole recipe, aside from this marinating for 30 to 45 minutes, should cook together in about 15 minutes, so it's pretty darn quick. You just have to remember to marinate it first. One thing I have decided to do is heat up our air fryer. I'm going to include some French fries with the sandwiches. I think that will be perfect. And I'm going to cut up a little bit of cucumber as well for a side. Alright. Got kind of a mess going on here, don't I? Alright. So, throw this stuff on it. Alright, so I can smell that the garlic is getting nice and fragrant, so I'm going to dump in the onions and peppers. Stir those up so they get nice and covered by not only the garlic but also the olive oil. To put mushrooms in, I would put those in maybe about halfway through cooking the onions and the peppers because they'll just cook quicker. We're going to saute these for, I'm going to say, 7 minutes. Alright, let those sit, and the air fryer should be nice and heated up. So I'm just going to pop the French fries in there. Add a quick coat of cooking spray to them. That will help them crisp up in the air fryer without actually using all the oil. Alright, so So while those are cooking, we still have our tempeh marinating. It's looking fantastic. Almost all of it now is that nice caramely golden color we were looking at before, which is exactly what we need. All right, so while we wait, I'm going to get our buns ready. So we're just going to open these up. If you can help it, don't completely split them open. Just leave it so they're in a nice V, and if you can, leave it so they're against the side of the pan. That will help when you fill them. Put this one over here. So while all of this is going, I'm going to put some of the mayo on all of the buns. And a pinch too, if you can't find tempeh at your grocery store, you could also use portobello mushrooms. Do the same type of marinade, because that will also really absorb a great flavor. You have a very similar result to what I'm doing here today. All right, the buns are ready. Check on the veggies, stir those around a little bit. They smell really good. So what we're making now, it's about 6 sandwiches worth of filling. So it looks like I'm only going to be filling 3 right now, so we'll have some great leftovers. While the veggies are cooking, I am going to put a teaspoon of Old Bay seasoning and of seasoned salt on. Give the veggies a nice flavor. If you're not a fan of Old Bay seasoning or don't have any, that is no problem. You can just season it with seasoned salt if you have it, like a Lowry's, and pepper. That will also be delicious. All right. Okay, so the veggies need about 3 more minutes. The tempeh looks great. It'll be ready to go in as soon as the veggies are sauteed. Yeah, this will be delicious. And for cheese, you can use, I would usually use provolone and mozzarella. Grocery store is out of provolone, so we're going with Munster and mozzarella today. By the grocery store, I mean Target. I did a pickup order because I didn't want to go in, so I can't complain then. Veggies are looking great. You can see the onions are starting to get almost translucent, so we're in a really good spot with these. Right, one thing too I like to do when using the air fryer is open it up here or there and shake it all to make sure that if there's more than one layer, that everything on the bottom gets a chance to cook as well. Alright, so now that the vegetables have been cooked down, the peppers and the onions, vegetables, that's what I mean. Now I'm going to pour in the marinated tempeh and the leftover sauce. for about another 5 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes. It depends on how much marinade you have left and how much this cooks down. I'm just going to turn it up just a smidge. Right now I'm going to be using medium-high heat. That will help caramelize the onions in the sauce. What I'm also going to do is pop these buns in the oven. So I've set the timer for about 5 minutes. I'm only going to keep the buns in the oven for about 3. The 5-minute timer is for top side here, for the actual sandwich filling. If your tempeh breaks up while it's cooking in the pan, that happens. It's essentially just, you know, those compressed beans, so it happens. It's no problem. It'll taste delicious either way. Check on the buns, see if the mayo got nice and deliciously melted yet. We're getting there. Everything in here is starting to caramelize and it smells amazing. I'm actually going to turn the heat down just a little bit and grab these buns out of the oven. Fries are just about done as well, so I'm going to turn those off. Now we're going to build the hoagies. So what I'm going to do is put a piece of Munster cheese in each bun and then sprinkle mozzarella on the top. That's my plan. If you guys like different cheeses or have a different plan for you, that is great. It will all be delicious. This time I opted to buy pre-sliced and pre-shredded cheese just because it was easier for me to make. So what we're going to do now is actually fill the buns with the topping. I've got the burner turned off. Here's what the topping looks like. So you've got everything looks great. It all looks cooked well together, caramelized, and like I said, it smells amazing. So I'm going to try to make sure each piece or each sandwich gets proportionately the same-ish amount of topping so they all have a great uniform taste. Put that in there. There's no wrong way to do this. I'm just attempting to keep it more or less even. Put the peppers and the onions in next. Yikes. Oops. All right, so we've got plenty of topping left for more sandwiches. I'm going to sprinkle on the mozzarella. And then we're going to put these back in the oven so everything gets nice and melty and crispy. But what I'm going to do, right now it's on 350 from the buns, I'm actually going to broil it. So we've got the broiler on, and that should just be for maybe, I don't know, let's say 2 minutes. And then we'll check it. All right, it's been 2 minutes. We'll check those out. Say maybe 2 more. I want them a little crispier. look great. So I'm going to turn the broiler off. So for me, broiling for about 3 minutes is what worked. And we've got nice crispy fries. I like them very crispy, so. But with using the air fryer, that really helps to spray them with oil. Then I did salt them when they were in here too. So we just need the sandwiches. All right. So just be careful when you plate these up. They're going to be very hot. Here is what it looks like. So this is going to be your Tempeh Philly cheesesteak. If you learned anything today or just enjoyed the show, please feel free to subscribe below and leave a comment if you'd like. If there's something you'd like to see, something you want to learn more about, let me know. And have a great day. Bye.